हरिः ओम् नमस्सर्वेभ्यः। अष्टाध्यायीपरिचयः इत्यस्य अद्य पञ्चचत्वारिंशत्तमः पाठः। अस्मिन् वर्गे सुबन्तप्रक्रियायां नदीकार्याणि तथा च घीकार्याणि कथं प्रवर्तन्ते तस्य अध्ययनं विस्तरेण कुर्मः। शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। येनाक्षरसमाम्नयमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वरुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। अस्माकं वर्गस्य द्वे प्रयोजने अष्टाध्याय्याः आहत्य षट्शतस्य सूत्राणां व्याख्यासहितम् उदाहरणसहितं च अध्ययनं तथा च अष्टाध्याय्याः प्रथमाध्यायस्य प्रथमपादस्य द्वितीयपादस्य च कण्ठस्थीकरणम्। सुबन्तप्रक्रियायाः अध्ययनं प्रचलत् अस्ति। तत्र प्रातिपदिकसंज्ञा तथा च सुप्रत्ययविधानम् एतयोः अध्ययनम् अस्य प्रकरणस्य प्रारम्भे जातम्। तदनन्तरं च पूर्वस्मिन् सप्ताहे एकस्मिन् वर्गे वर्णकार्यस्य अध्ययनम्, अपरस्मिन् वर्गे त्रिपादिकार्यस्य अध्ययनं जातं। तत्र त्रिपादिकार्यस्य अध्ययनसमये पाठनसमये तत्र एकस्य सूत्रस्य अध्ययनम् अवशिष्टं वर्गे मया स्मरणे सः विषयः न आगतः। किमर्थमिति चेदपि अनन्तरं वदामि। बट देयर वाज वन sutra that I completely missed, and thanks to the students of the group who have been diligently and regularly doing the homework, there was a question, and it appears that for the words like gir, and I think there was another word archis, for these words that particular sutram is necessary. Along with that, people are also facing some trouble for the derivation of the archis word. So let us first focus on those two aspects. So तत्र त्रिपादिकार्यस्य सन्दर्भेण एकस्य सूत्रस्य अध्ययनं यद् अवशिष्टमासीत् तस्य अध्ययनम् इदानीं कुर्मः। तदनन्तरम् अर्चिस् इति शब्दस्य विषये किञ्चित् विस्तरेण वदामि। रूपाणि तु न पाठयामि, प्रक्रिया तु भवद्भिः एव लेखनीया, परन्तु किञ्चित् तस्मिन् तस्य शब्दस्य तादृशानां शब्दानां व्युत्पत्तेः विषये किञ्चित् पाठयामि। तदनन्तरं च अद्यतनस्य विषयस्य प्रारम्भं करिष्यामः। So I'm switching the gears back to last class slide deck. The slide deck is already updated. These slides are going to be taught in today's class. सो तत्र प्रथमः विषयः अस्ति विसर्गादेशस्य सम्बन्धे खरवसानयोः विसर्जनीयः इति सूत्रं सर्वैः ज्ञायते। पदान्तरेफः अस्ति, तस्य खर् वर्णे परे विसर्गः भवति। खरवसानयोः विसर्जनीया, अवसाने परे अपि विसर्गः भवति, परन्तु सुबन्तप्रक्रियायाम् अग्रे प्रत्ययः विद्यते, अतः तत्र अवसानस्य चिन्तनं नावश्यकम्। इदानीम् अयं पदान्तरेफः द्विप्रकारकः अस्ति इति अपि अस्माभिः तत्र ऋत्वादेशस्य वर्गे विस्तरेण अधीतम्. So you have the repha of two types. One, the repha that is made up out of ru, and second, the repha that is actually present as a r. सो रु इत्यस्मात् निर्मितः यः रेफः, यथा सुप्रत्ययस्य ससजुषोरुः इति ऋत्वे कृते यः र इति सिद्ध्यति, सः रु इत्यस्मात् निर्मितः रेफः तस्य खरवसानयोर्विसर्जनीय इत्यनेन विसर्गादेशः भवति। एवमेव केषुचित् स्थलेषु यथा गिर् इति शब्दः अस्ति, नो चेत् पुनर् इति अव्ययमस्ति, प्रातर् इति अव्ययमस्ति, एतेषु सर्वेषु स्थलेषु मूलरूपेण तत्र पदान्तरेफः एव विद्यते. So there is no ru present in the beginning. There is a padanta refa. We have studied these two types of refas, the one that comes from padantaru and the one that doesn't come from padantaru, in details in form of a 2 by 2 matrix, if you remember in class number 40. So तत्र यः मूलतः र इति रूपेण स्थितः यः रेफः, तस्य अपि खरवसानयोर्विसर्जनीया इत्यनेन खर् वर्णे परे विसर्गादेशः भवति. So this is so far so good. उभययोः रेफयोः खर्वर्णे परे विसर्गादेशः भवति, उभयप्रकारयोः रेफयोः खर्वर्णे परे विसर्गादेशः भवति इति अत्र आशयः. However, when there is saptami bahuvachana pratyaya, the specific sup pratyaya in presence of, in front of a padanta refa, because there is a sup pratyaya, the pratipadika will get a padasamnya. अतः प्रातिपदिकस्य अन्ते विद्यमानः यः रेफः सः पदान्तरेफः, यदा पदान्तरेफात् अनन्तरं विशेषप्रकारेण सुप् प्रत्ययः अस्ति तदा तस्य रेफस्य नित्यं विसर्गादेशः न भवति। केवलं विशिष्टेषु स्थलेषु एव अयं विसर्गादेशः भवति। अतः तदर्थं खरवसानयोः विसर्जनीयः इत्यस्मादेव सूत्रादनन्तरं महर्षिभिः रोः सुपि इति नियमसूत्रं कृतम् अस्ति। सो दीस् आर सिक्वेन्शियल सूत्रास। खरवसानयोर विसर्जनीय says whichever is the refa you will convert it to visarga in presence of the khara. रोह सुपि is a niyama. What is a niyama? सिद्धे सति आरंभः नियमार्थः. In presence of the saptami bahuvachana supa pratyaya, because there is a sakara in front, that is the khara letter in front, any padanta refa will anyway get converted to visarga. So siddhe sati, still the same rule is being told to restrict that conversion to visarga. So siddhe sati arambha niyamartha. कीदृशः अयं नियमः? अनेन नियमेन किमुच्यते इति चेत् सप्तमी बहुवचनस्य सुप्रत्यये परे केवलं रु इत्यस्मात् निर्मितस्य रेफस्य एव विसर्गादेशः भवति। मूलरूपेण यः र इति स्थितः तस्य विसर्गादेशः न भवति। So in general, both the types of refa will get converted to visarga, but for the saptami bahuvachana sup pratyaya, only the ru type of refa gets converted to visarga. सो उदाहरणं पश्यामः। पयस् इति सकारान्त नपुंसकलिङ्ग शब्दः तस्मात् सुप् इत्युक्ते सुप्रत्यये कृते ससजुषोरुः इति ऋत्वे कृते पयरु इत्यत्र इत्संज्ञालोपे कृते पयर् प्लस सु इति स्थिते इदानीं पयर इत्यस्य स्वादिष्व सर्वनामस्थाने इति पदसंज्ञा अत्र पदस्य अन्ते रेफः विद्यते। कीदृशः रेफः? रु इत्यस्मात् निर्मितः रेफः। अयं पदान्तरेफः रु इत्यस्मात् निर्मितः अस्ति, अतः रोः सुपि इत्यनेन तस्य विसर्गादेशः भवति। केचन छात्राः पुनः पुनः पृच्छन्ति केन सूत्रेण विसर्गादेशः भवति? खरवसानयोः विसर्जनीय इत्यनेन भवति उत रोः सुपि इत्यनेन भवति? उत्तरमस्ति रोः सुपि इत्यनेन भवति। रोः सुपि इत्यनेन पूर्वेण उक्तः एव विसर्गादेशः पुनः सुप् प्रत्ययस्य सन्दर्भेण विशेषरूपेण उक्तः अस्ति। अतः अत्र पयर प्लस सु इत्यत्र सुप् प्रत्यये परे रु इत्यस्मात् निर्मितः यः रेफः तस्य विसर्गादेशः भवति। दिस फर्स्ट स्टेप इज बाय रोहो सुपि, नॉट बाय खरवसानयोः विसर्जनीयः। And then after you have paya, visarga and then su, obviously you will have the normal vashari, visarga se vikalpena sakaradeshe krute, payah su or payas su. Now let's see a counter example. We have this word in the homework. We also studied this word in the previous class. Gir, vani iti arthaha. Gir iti shabdat supa pratyay krute. Rvohopadayaha dirghayikaha, that's the 8276. Rvohopadaaya dirghayika ityanena upadaha dirghe krute. Gir plus su iti sthite. इदानीम अत्र गीर इत्यस्य स्वादिष्व सर्वनामस्थाने इति पदसंज्ञा, परन्तु सः पदस्य अन्ते विद्यमानः रेफः रु इत्यस्मात् निर्मितः नास्ति। गिर इति रेफान्तं प्रातिपदिकम्। अस्यां स्थितौ पदान्तरेफस्य अत्र विसर्गः न भवति। Therefore गीर प्लस सु directly becomes गीर सु and then आदेश प्रत्ययो will cause a षत्व over there, गीर्षु इति अन्तिमं रूपं सिद्ध्यति। अनेन प्रकारेण सुप इत्युक्ते सप्तमी बहुवचनस्य प्रत्ययस्य सन्दर्भेण पदान्तरेफस्य केवलं रु इत्यस्य विषये एव विसर्गः भवति, अन्यत्र न भवति इति रोः सुपि इति सूत्रस्य आशयः। सो दैट्स द एक्चुअल सूत्रम। आई हैव एडजस्टेड द नंबरिंग्स। आई हैव आल्सो एडेड दिस सूत्रम इन आवर सूत्रा लिस्ट। सो सप्तमी बहुवचने परे रोः एव विसर्जनीयः न अन्य रेफस्य। वेरी सिंपल सूत्रम। यू कैन रीड द पदच्छेद अनुवृत्ति एंड सो ऑन। सुप् प्रत्यये परे केवलं पदान्तरु इत्यस्मात् निर्मितस्य रेफस्य एव विसर्गादेशः भवति, अन्य प्रकारकस्य रेफस्य न। इदं नियमसूत्रं सिद्धे सति आरम्भः नियमार्थः एंड सो ऑन। उदाहरणं पयस् प्लस सु इत्यत्र रेफस्य विसर्गादेशः अवश्यं भवति, गिर् प्लस सु इत्यत्र विसर्गादेशः न भवति। Any questions on this topic? Okay, no questions. So let's move ahead. On the slide of Shatvam also this particular topics comes in the picture. I mean, there is nothing wrong. I'm just now recollecting what we studied and where this particular sutra will come in the picture. So dhanus plus super. This particular prakriya was told dhanus plus super इत्यत्र धनुस् प्लस सु इत्यत्र सकारस्य ऋत्वे कृते ततः पुनरेकवारं सप्तमी बहुवचनस्य प्रत्ययः अस्ति अतः रोः सुपि टाइपिंग मिस्टेक रोः सुपि इति विसर्गादेशः भवति. डिड आई डू? अतः रोः सुपि इति तत्र विसर्गादेशः भवति and then everything else is same. So same thing will be here. I can add it here. Even in the same next example, it's exactly the same thing. You can take a look at it later on. There is a question over here, apavad question mark. What does it mean? I don't know. There is no apavad of this. This is a niyama sutram. So purva sutrena nitya rupena visargadeshe jate atra नियम्यते. सो गीर् इत्यादिषु स्थलेषु विसर्गादेशः न भवति, अन्येषु स्थलेषु पयस् इत्यादिषु स्थलेषु तु अवश्यं भवति. Now let me tell you why I missed out this sutram. That typing mistake was actually also over here. I mean, it is a lame mistake at my end, but this is how exactly it happened. There is a sutram called Roho Supi in Ashtadhyayi, which is what I taught right now. And then there is another sutram called Ro Supi in Ashtadhyayi, which is a completely different sutram. It is specific to the Ahan word, a Nakaranta word called Ahan. Now, earlier when I was preparing for this module, I decided to teach Ahan word, and therefore Ro Supi was in the sutra list. And then later on, the number of words was increasing, number of sutras was increasing. It was not possible to fit in the 10 classes, so I decided to omit the Ahan word. After omitting the Ahan word, I decided to delete Ro Supi, and by mistake, I deleted both the Ro Supis, even this one and even the Roho Supi one. And I never realized it till 2 days ago when somebody asked on the group. So thank you very much. The missing sutra is now taught. It is added in the slide deck. If you had downloaded the slide deck, please download it again so that you have the latest version. Okay, any questions over here? Alaknanda ji, if you want to ask, you can raise hand, but I can't make anything out of your comment over here. हाँ, रत्नाकर महोदय.
चले नमस्ते.
नमस्ते.
In the, just please go to the earlier. It's like that where Munis is there.
Munis. Here.
I think if it is the way it has to be written, probably I wrote in one of the exercises, earlier exercises, it is not so. I wrote wrongly, I think, because I was not aware that this has to be done like this. I think, yeah,
What is your question? But I don't think
no,
I have.
It's not a question. In fact, in earlier Sandhi exercises, you gave one word, one Sandhi karyam with Muni, which starts with Muni. Muni Yatra, something like that.
But this is not the Sandhi Karya. This is Saptami Bahuvachana Pratyaya. So if it was something related to Munihi, it was probably different. We can take it offline. I probably do not remember,
Okay,
recollect
that's
what
fine.
we.
Yes.
You can chat on the group. Okay.
Yeah.
I probably don't remember what you're saying. Anyway. Any further questions? If not, let's go to the topic about arches that I wanted to discuss. Ratnakarji, you have another question? Huh, okay. So now let's talk about this specific word called arches, which was also given in the homework last week. So तत्र प्रातिपदिकस्य सन्दर्भेण केचन विशिष्टाः शब्दाः इत्युक्ते कानिचन विशिष्टानि प्रातिपदिकानि एतादृशानि सन्ति येषु विद्यमानः सकारः उणादिप्रत्ययस्य सकारः अस्ति. So there are many sakaranta pratipadiks which are actually created by adding an unadi pratyaya to a dhatu. So some of these pratipadik, some of these you might know, some of these you might not know. Archis is a pratipadikam. Havis is another one. Jyotis is another one. Vapus, Arus, Dhanus. Most of this you would have probably remembered or heard in a shakaranta form, like dhanush, arush, jyotish, havish. I'll talk about it. I'll come to that in a minute. But technically, all these are sakaranta pratipadiks, which have a sakara made from unadi pratyaya. सो कानिचन प्रातिपदिकानि सकारघटितस्य उणादिप्रत्ययस्य योगेन सिद्ध्यन्ति यथा इस् प्रत्ययः अस्ति कश्चन उस् प्रत्ययः अस्ति कश्चन एतेषां प्रयोगेण एतानि प्रातिपदिकानि सिद्ध्यन्ति. Now, technically, even though Unadi Pratyanta words are considered avyutpanna in Paninian frame of reference, still एतेषु प्रातिपदिकेषु विद्यमानः सकारः अवश्यरूपेण सुबन्तप्रक्रियार्थं प्रत्ययस्य सकाररूपेण एव स्वीक्रियते. अतः अत्र अर्चिस् इत्यत्र विद्यमानः सकारः प्रत्ययस्य सकारः अस्ति इति स्मर्तव्यम्. Now, what happens for such a sakara? यदा अस्य प्रातिपदिकस्य पदसंज्ञा भवति यथा अर्चिस् इत्यस्मात् भ्याम् इति प्रत्यये कृते अर्चिस् इत्यत्र सकारस्य पदसंज्ञा अर्चिस् इत्यस्य पदसंज्ञा भवति तत्र सकारः पदान्ते विद्यमानः सकारः अस्ति. अस्य सकारस्य ससजुषोरुः इति ऋत्वे कृते अर्चिर्भ्याम् अर्चिर्भिः अर्चिर्भ्यः इत्यादीनि रूपाणि सिद्ध्यन्ति. Similarly, archis plus sup इत्यत्रापि अर्चिस् इत्यस्य सकारस्य ससजुषोरुः इति रेफे कृते अर्चिर्सु तत्र रोः सुपि जस्ट नाउ वी लर्न रोः सुपि इत्यनेन विसर्गादेशे कृते अर्चिः सु किमर्थं रोः सुपि इति अत्र सुप प्रत्ययः अस्ति सकारात् रु इत्यनेन तत्र अनन्तरं ऋकार रेफः सिद्ध्यति अतः रोः सुपि इत्यनेन विसर्गादेशः जायते अर्चिः प्लस सु देन वाशरी एंड सो ऑन अर्चिः सु अर्चिस् सु देन देयर इज अ सु प्रत्यय तस्य आदेश प्रत्यय इति षत्वं भवति अर्चिः शु और अर्चिस् शु तदनन्तरं ष्टुनाष्टुः इति अर्चिः शु और अर्चिषु इति रूपेण अत्र प्रक्रिया प्रवर्तते. Now, this is so far so good. Probably you don't have a problem over here. The problem is when the Pratipadika gets a bhasamya. Yada Pratipadikasya bhasamya bhavati archis plus ta. This is an interesting case. Atra Pratipadikasya ante vidyamanaha sakaraha apadanta sakaraha asti. Because there is a bhasamya, there is no padasamya and therefore this is not a pada. So atra apadanta sakara asti. अयम अपदांत सकारः प्रत्ययस्य सकारः अस्ति. नाउ रिकलेक्ट आदेश प्रत्ययोः आदेश प्रत्ययोः सूत्र सेज अपदांत सकारः यदा पदस प्रत्ययस्य सकारः अस्ति. लेट्स गो टू द प्रीवियस स्लाइड. वी जस्ट लर्नड आदेश प्रत्यय. आई थिंक ऑन द इट्स रिटन ऑन द प्रीवियस स्लाइड. सो इण क वर्गाभ्याम परस्य अपदान्तः यः अपदांत सकार. आई थिंक आई हैव रिटन इन अ सिंपलर लैंग्वेज. इण वर्णात् कवर्गीय वर्णात् वा परस्य प्रत्ययस्य अवयवरूपेण विद्यमानः यः अपदान्त सकारः तस्य शकारादेशः भवति. So what is happening in our current case? In archis plus ta, you have apadanta sakara because archis is not a pada and it is a pratyaya sakara because there is an unadi pratyaya. By adesha pratyayoho and there is an ida letter archi. So ikar is there. So by adesha pratyayo, sakara gets converted to shakara and therefore you get forms like archisha, archishe, archishaha, archishaha, archishi and archishoho. So all these shakara ghatita pratyaya forms that happen in case of bhasamya are because of not bhasamya are because of apadasamya. Padasamnyayaha abhava pakshe एतानि सर्वाणि आदेश प्रत्ययोक्तेनेन शकारस्य रूपेण सिद्धानि रूपाणि सन्ति. And this is the reason why most of these words are actually considered shakaranta. So havish, vapush, dhanush, these all words in introductory books of grammar, even in some books on Ashtadhyayi, are considered shakaranta words. There is no harm in saying that. But technically, I think even on our website, they are classified as Shakaranta because it is taken from Siddhanta Kaumudi. But for all theoretical or technical purposes, they are मूलरूपेण सकारान्त प्रातिपदिकानि सन्ति. अस्य सकारस्य रेफादेशः भवति, नो चेत् अस्य सकारस्य षकारादेशः भवति. So sa is never heard. Like in the payas, payah, payasi, payansi, or payasa, payase, sa is actually heard. So saying that payas is a sakaranta word makes sense. परंतु धनुष इति अस्ति, अर्चिष इति अस्ति, हविस् इति अस्ति. एते सर्वे हविः, हविषि, हविंषि, हविषा, हविषे. स इज नेवर हर्ड, श इज हर्ड. अतः सामान्य रूपेण एतेषां शकारान्त प्रातिपदिकेषु एव परिगणनं भवति. परन्तु अत्र शकारः प्रातिपदिके विद्यमानः शकारः नास्ति. So compare and contrast it with the pratipadika called sajush. We have studied it in sasajushoruhu. So sajush iti moola rupena shakarantah shabdah. Tatra fundamentally there is a shakara over there. Here it is not like that. Dhanus, vapus, havis ityatra moola rupena unadi pratyasya sakarah asti. Anantaram prakriyayam adesha pratyayo ityanena tasya shakaradeshah bhavati. So these were the 2 points that I wanted to discuss in context of the previous class. One was about the Roho Supi Sutram and other was about the Pratipadike Vidyamanaha Sakara Ghatitaha Pratyayah. Any further questions on this particular topic? Okay, if there are no questions, then let us move to today's class. Today's class actually is much simpler. No Shastra Vishaya, just a bunch of sutras and some samnyas. That's it. सो प्रारभामहे. अस्मिन् पाठे अस्माभिः अङ्गकार्यस्य कानिचन सूत्राणां केषाञ्चन सूत्राणाम् अध्ययनं क्रियते. सो वी हैव स्टडीड वर्णकार्यं, वी हैव स्टडीड त्रिपादिकार्यं, प्रातिपदिकसंज्ञा तथा च सुप्रत्ययः, एतेषामपि अध्ययनं जातं. द ओन्ली रिमेनिंग पॉइंट्स आर 3 and 4. सुप्रत्ययस्य आदेशाः तथा च अङ्गकार्यम्. अवशिष्टेषु सर्वेषु वर्गेषु खण्डखण्डरूपेण एतेषां सर्वेषाम् अध्ययनं कुर्मः. तत्र अद्यतनः विषयः अस्ति अंगकार्ये नदी कार्यम तथा घी कार्यम. I do not expect you to know anything about this. Some of you probably know, but for most of you, this is going to be a new topic. Thankfully, it's simple, please, but still pay close attention. Let's start with this nadi karyam first. सुबंत प्रक्रियायां केषाञ्चन प्रातिपदिकानां केषाञ्चन शब्दानां नदी इति विशिष्टा संज्ञा दत्ता अस्ति. So just like Vruddhi, Guna and so on, there is a samnya called Nadi. There are a bunch of sutras starting from 143. So use Triakhyo Nadi, Neyangwang Sthanavastri, Vami and Nitirhasvascha. These 4 sutras are about the Nadi Samnya, and the next 3 sutras, Shesho Ghyasakhi, Patis Samasa Eva, and Shashti Yuktas Chandasiva, are all about the Ghi Samnya. So you have 2 Samnyas in sequence. There is a Nadi Samnya in the 4 sutras, and there is a Ghi Samnya in the 3 sutras. We are not going to learn all 7 sutras. We are going to learn only 3 sutras. अत्र अस्माभिः यूस्त्र्याख्यो नदी इति सूत्रस्य अध्ययनं क्रियते. Then we will ignore this Neyangwang Sthanavastri and Vami. Then we will partially learn Nitirhasvascha. So this is a sutram that I'm not going to teach fully. I'm only going to teach it partially. I'll explain what it means when we start talking about that sutram. And then, so these 2 sutras are for the Nadi Samnya. And then there is only one sutram for the Ghi Samnya, Shesho Ghyasakhi. So this sutram we are going to talk for the Ghi Samnya. So Prarabhamahe. तत्र नदी इति संज्ञा अस्ति. सुबन्त प्रक्रियायां केषाञ्चन शब्दानां नदी इति संज्ञा विद्यते. कस्य शब्दस्य नदी संज्ञा भवति? सो द फर्स्ट सूत्रम यूज त्र्याख्यौ नदी सेज दीर्घ इकारान्ताः तथा च दीर्घ उकारान्ताः नित्य स्त्रीलिंगवाचिनः शब्दाः. इत्युक्ते ते शब्दाः ये केवलं स्त्रीलिंगे एव प्रयुज्यन्ते, पुल्लिंगे नपुंसकलिंगे न प्रयुज्यन्ते. इत्युक्ते भाषितपुंस्काः न सन्ति, नित्यरूपेण स्त्रीलिंगे एव प्रयुज्यन्ते. ते शब्दाः कीदृशाः? आकारान्ताः न, ह्रस्व इकारान्ताः न, केवलं दीर्घ इकारान्ताः दीर्घ उकारान्ताः नित्य स्त्रीलिंगवाचिनः शब्दाः नदी संज्ञकाः भवन्ति. सो देवी, गौरी, Lakshmi, Nadi. So ironically, the river that is Nadi is also Nadi Samyaka. वधू, श्वश्रू, चंचू एते सर्वे दीर्घ उकारान्ताः शब्दाः। नित्यस्त्रीलिङ्गवाचिनः इति किमर्थम्? अस्माभिः भाषितपुंस्कशब्दानाम् अध्ययनसमये एतादृशाः दीर्घ इकारान्ताः दीर्घ उकारान्ताः भाषितपुंस्काः शब्दाः अपि दृष्टाः। सो ग्रामणी, ग्रामस्य लीडर, नेता, so the gramam nayati, the leader of a village. Now it can be a man, it can be a woman. So gramani iti भाषितपुंस्कः शब्दः। एवमेव खलपु, खलं पुनीते इति भाषितपुंस्कः शब्दः। It is, these words are basically derived using somebody who does some action. So that can be a man or a woman. So ayam भाषितपुंस्कः शब्दः अस्ति। एतादृशानां शब्दानां नदी संज्ञा अत्र अनेन सूत्रेण न भवति. So this sutram that we are going to learn only talks about dirgha ikaranta and dirgha ukaranta nitya strilingavachi words and gives them the nadi samnya. So that's simple. This is used triakhyo nadi. The next sutram, we are going to ignore the middle two sutras, and the next sutram after two sutras 146 nitirhasvascha. This sutram says ह्रस्व इकारान्ताः ह्रस्व उकारान्ताः च स्त्रीलिङ्गवाचिनः शब्दाः ङित् प्रत्ययेषु परेषु विकल्पेन नदी संज्ञकाः भवन्ति. So let us step back and understand. For the dirgha ikaranta and dirgha ukaranta nitya strilinga words, pratyaya doesn't need to be thought. If it is a dirgha ikaranta and dirgha ukaranta nitya strilinga word, it is a nadi samyaka for all 21 derivations, 7 multiplied by 3. However, if it is a ह्रस्व इकारanta and a ह्रस्व ukaranta word, then केवलं ङित् प्रत्ययेषु परेषु इत्युक्ते ङे, ङसि, ङस् and ङि. So 4.1, 5.1, 6.1, 7.1. एतेषु एव प्रत्ययेषु परेषु प्रातिपदिकस्य नदी संज्ञा भवति, सा अपि विकल्पेन भवति. यथा मति इति ह्रस्व इकारान्तः स्त्रीलिङ्गवाची शब्दः, बुद्धि, शक्ति एते सर्वे ह्रस्व इकारान्ताः, धेनु, रज्जु, तनु एते सर्वे ह्रस्व उकारान्ताः स्त्रीलिङ्गवाचिनः शब्दाः. एते शब्दाः ङे प्रत्यये परे, ङसि प्रत्यये परे, ङस् प्रत्यये परे, ङि प्रत्यये परे 4.1, 5.1, 6.1, 7.1 एतेषु प्रत्ययेषु परेषु विकल्पेन नदी संज्ञकाः भवन्ति. And now understand the most crucial bit. In case of use त्र्यॉख्यौ nadi, we said nitya strilingavachinah shabdaha. In case of ngitirhasvascha, we are only saying strilingavachinah shabdaha. कः अर्थः? ये ह्रस्व इकारान्ताः ह्रस्व उकारान्ताः वा भाषितपुंस्कशब्दाः सन्ति, ते अपि स्त्रीलिङ्गे यदा प्रयुज्यन्ते तदा अवश्यं विकल्पेन नदी संज्ञकाः भवन्ति ङे, ङसि, ङस्, ङि इत्येतेषु प्रत्ययेषु परेषु. So dirgha ikaranta and dirgha ukaranta bhashita pumska words like gramani and khalapu are never nadi samyaka. But when it comes to ह्रस्व इकारंत and ह्रस्व उकारांत, अत्र केवलं स्त्रीलिंगत्वम आवश्यकम. So the word must be used in the strilinga for that nadi samnya to appear. Whether it is a nitya strilinga or not doesn't matter. So atra nitya strilingatvam navashakam. भूरि, सुमति, लघु, गुरु एते विशेषण रूपेण प्रयुक्ताः इत्युक्ते त्रिषु अपि लिङ्गेषु प्रयुक्ताः शब्दाः एते भाषितपुंस्काः सन्ति. परन्तु एते यदा स्त्रीलिङ्गे प्रयुज्यन्ते तदा ङित् प्रत्यये परे विकल्पेन नदी संज्ञकाः भवन्ति. For Gramani and Khalapu, which are Dirgha Ikaranta, whether they are used in Strilinga or Pullinga, they are never Nadi Samyaka. But for Rasva Ikaranta and Rasva Ukaranta Strilinga Vachi words, if they are Bhashita Pumska, that is not a deal breaker. Tatrapi Strilinge Nit Pratyay Pare Tesham Vikalpena Nadi Samnya Avashyam Bhavati. And what about non-nit pratyas like su, aujas, auchas and so on? Rasva ikarantaha, rasva ukarantaha, strilinga vachina shabdaha, any shabda as such, तत्र नदीसंज्ञकाः न भवन्ति. सो सु औजस् इत्येतेषु प्रत्ययेषु परेषु दीर्घ इकारान्तः दीर्घ उकारान्तः शब्द अवश्यमेव नदीसंज्ञकाः भवन्ति. तत्र प्रत्ययस्य चिन्तनमेव नावश्यकं. परन्तु ह्रस्व इकारान्तः ह्रस्व उकारान्तः शब्दाः एतादृशेषु प्रत्ययेषु परेषु नदीसंज्ञकाः न भवन्ति. केवलं ङित् प्रत्ययेषु परेषु तत्रापि विकल्पेन नदीसंज्ञकाः भवन्ति. नित्यं न विकल्पेन नदीसंज्ञकाः भवन्ति. Any confusion or questions about the Nadi Samnya, please raise your hand. It is extremely important that the concept of Nadi is thoroughly clear before we move ahead. हाँ पूर्णिमा जी.
नमस्कारः महोदय। अत्र नीतिर्स्वश्च तत्र स्त्रीलिङ्गवाचिनः इति अस्ति। तत् पुल्लिङ्गशब्दानां कृते अपि भवति इति, किन्तु शब्दाः अपि पुल्लिङ्गवत् एव नेनसि इति प्रत्यये चलति खलु।
Wait. You're thoroughly confused. Nadi Samnya is only for the feminine words. Only for the feminine words. भूरि सुमति लघु गुरु एते शब्दाः त्रिषु अपि लिङ्गेषु सन्ति. परन्तु एते शब्दाः यदा पुल्लिङ्गे प्रयुज्यन्ते, एते शब्दाः यदा नपुंसकलिङ्गे प्रयुज्यन्ते, तदा तेषां नदी संज्ञा न भवति. नदी संज्ञा इज ओनली इन द फेमिनाइन प्रयोग. स्त्रीलिंग प्रयोगे एव नदी संज्ञा संभवति. And what words, any word which can be used in Strilinga can get the Nadi Samnya. That is what Nitirasvascha says. For use Triakhyo Nadi, it is even stringent condition. It cannot be any word that is used in the feminine form. It must be a word that can only be used in the feminine form. So Gramani Khalapu are blocked. They do not get the Nadi Samnya. But for Nitirasvascha, words like Laghu Guru in the feminine usage will get Nadi Samnya.
Astu, astu, got it, Nadia. Now I got it. Mati has two forms, one for this Nadi
Correct, correct.
Sangha and
Correct.
astu,
So
astu.
Mataye versus Matyai. There are two
Ah,
forms. One becomes now that you are talking about forms, see Mataye versus Matye. Matye is like Nadyai. That's the form when you get Nadi Samnya. And Mataye is like Munaye. That's the form when you do not get Nadi Samnya. Clear?
astu, astu. धन्यवादः महोदय. Now I got it.
Any further questions? So 4.1, 5.1, 6.1, 7.4, Mati, Buddhi, Shakti, Dhenu, Rajju, Tanu, all of them will have two forms. One form will be the Nadi type form, which will match with the form of Devi, Gauri, Lakshmi, Nadi, and so on. Other form will be non-Nadi type form, which will match Muni, Sadhu, and so on. Hopefully this is clear. Now let's quickly run through the sutras. There is nothing specific in the sutras. So use Triakhyo Nadi. Idudantau. How is this U word formed in the sutra? Very interesting. U is actually Dirgha Ikara plus Dirgha Ukara. Yanadesha has happened. Dirgha Ikara plus Dirgha Ukara is U. So Idudantau Nitya Strilingau Nadi Samyau Staha. Very simple. So U is Dirgha Ikaranta plus Dirgha Ukaranta and Striakhyau इत्युक्ते नित्य स्त्रीलिंगवाची शब्दः. स्त्रियमेव आचष्टे. पुल्लिंगस्य नपुंसकलिंगस्य निर्देशं न करोति, केवलं स्त्रीलिंगस्यैव निर्देशं करोति. स्त्रियमेव आचष्टे इत्युक्ते वदति, स्त्रियमेव निर्दिशति, स्त्रियमेव वदति इति स्त्र्याख्यः. दीर्घ इकारान्ताः दीर्घ उकारान्ताः नित्यस्त्रीलिङ्गवाचिनः शब्दाः नदी संज्ञकाः भवन्ति. गौरी, घटी, वधू, चंचु एंड सो ऑन नित्यस्त्रीलिङ्गः इति किमर्थं? ग्रामणी, खलपु इत्यादीनां भाषितपुंस्कप्रातिपदिकानां नदी संज्ञा न भवति. Next sutram is Nitirhasvascha. As I mentioned, I am not teaching the full meaning of Nitirhasvascha. The reason why I am not teaching the full meaning of Nitirhasvascha is that in this sutram Nitirhasvascha, there is some anuvrutti that comes from 1.4 of the yang and uvang forms. but I am not teaching 1.4, so that particular anuvritti will not make sense right now. You will not even understand what that anuvritti is and why that anuvritti is taken and so on. So I am going to completely skip that anuvritti. So what I am doing, clarifying, अस्य सूत्रस्य सम्पूर्णः अर्थः अत्र न पाठ्यते, अपि तु केवलम् अंशतः अर्थः एव अत्र पाठितः अस्ति. Don't worry about it. Whatever is required for your 70 words that is being taught, out of that is being skipped. Like Adesha Pratyaho, we ignored the Adesha part and we learned only the Pratyaya part. Exactly that's what I'm doing over here. Nothing new, nothing important is being skipped. So अत्र अनुवृत्ति सहितं सूत्रं किं? ह्रस्वः यूस्त्र्याख्यौ. So ह्रस्वः and नीति. नीति वा नदी. ह्रस्वान्तः दीर्घ ह्रस्व इकारांत उकारांत सॉरी ह्रस्वान्तः इकारांत उकारांतः शब्दः. So u is basically दीर्घ e plus दीर्घ u. And now that dirgha is being qualified as hrasva, so dirgha cancels out. So hrasva ikaranta ukaranta shabdaha nit pratyay pare vikalpena nadi samnyakaha bhavati. The only caveat over here is that the stryakhyav word is taken as an anuvritti from use stryakhyav nadi. So use stryakhyav nadi has the word stryakhyav and nitirasvascha takes that word as an anuvritti, but ironically the meaning changes. In you Striakhyav Nadi, the meaning of Striakhyav is Nitya Strilinga Vachi word. Whereas when that word is brought as an anuvrutti in Nitirasvascha, it only means Strilinga Vachi word. The Nitya part is omitted. This is very rare. The words usually don't change their meanings when you take it as an anuvrutti, but this is a special case which is explained in the commentaries. So Balamanoramakara says Striakhyav iti anuvartate. So what is the Striakhyav? Nitya Strilingam. परंतु अत्र तस्य स्त्रीलिंगौ इति एतावदेव विवक्षितं न तु नित्य स्त्रीलिंगौ. Even though the word whose meaning was taken as nitya strilinga in the previous sutram is taken as anuvrutti, the nitya part is omitted. This is purely understood from the Vyakhyanas and only the Strilinga part is taken. So Balamanoramakara clarifies Strilingau इत्येवदेव विवक्षितं नित्य स्त्रीलिंगौ इति न विवक्षितं. अतः ह्रस्व इकारान्ताः ह्रस्व उकारान्ताः स्त्रीलिंगवाचिनः शब्दाः. आई एम नॉट सेइंग नित्य स्त्रीलिंगवाचिनः. स्त्रीलिंगवाचिनः शब्दाः ङित् प्रत्ययेषु परेषु विकल्पेन नदी सम्यकाः भवन्ति. ह्रस्व इकारान्तः मति शक्ति एंड सो ऑन. ह्रस्व उकारान्तः धेनु रेणु एंड सो ऑन. अत्र नित्य स्त्रीलिंगत्वं नावश्यकम्. अतः भूरि सुमति एते शब्दाः अपि ङित् प्रत्यये परे स्त्रीलिंगे विकल्पेन नदी सम्यकाः भवन्ति. Nadi samnya is only for strilinga. It has nothing to do with pullinga and napumsakalinga. Any questions so far? We are done with the study of Nadi samnya. Now what we are going to learn is why this Nadi samnya is being given. But before that, any questions on the Nadi samnya itself? प्रश्नाः न सन्ति, अग्रे गच्छामः. सो नदी संज्ञा विशिष्टानि कार्याणि नदी संज्ञा सुबंत प्रकरणे किमर्थं दत्ता अस्ति चेत् four very simple but very effective karyas are associated with the nadi samnya. First, ह्रस्व नद्यापो नुट. नदी सम्यकात् परस्य षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य आम प्रत्ययस्य नुट् इति आगमः भवति. When you have 6.3 am, so Gauri plus 6.3, Shashti Bahuvachanam am, this am gets a nutta agama. Adyantau takito will bring it in the beginning. Gauri plus nutta plus am, Gaurinam, Gaurinam. Natve krute Gaurinam. If it is Nadi, it will be Nadinam. If it is say Dhenu, it will be Dhenunam and so on. So atra Gauri, not Dhenu. No, that's okay. Dhenu is also, but by Rasva only Dhenu will get the Nudagama. So a better example would be say Vadhu. Vadhu is Nadi Samyaka. Vadhu plus Am. Vadhu plus Nutta plus Am. Vadhu plus Nam. Vadhu Nam. What this entire sutra says, Hrasva Nadyaponut is actually a bigger sutram. I am going to teach the full sutram in details. तत्र षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य आम् प्रत्यये परे त्रयाणाम् इत्युक्ते त्रिप्रकारकशब्दानां नुडागमः उक्तः अस्ति। त्रिप्रकारकशब्दानां सन्दर्भेण आम् प्रत्ययस्य नुडागमः उक्तः अस्ति। First is Raswa. A Raswanta word like say Rama or say Muni. When you have the Ama Pratyaya, you have the Nut Agama on that Am Pratyaya. Somebody is saying don't write a plus sign between Nutta and Am. Agreed. So it's not, it's just an Agama. So as per our convention, we should not be writing Nutta plus Am. Just say Nutta Am. So Rama plus Nutta Am. अत्र राम प्लस नाम अग्रे दीर्घे कृते वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न द सूत्रम इमीडिएटली इन 2 मिनिट्स रामाणाम इति सिद्ध्यति एवमेव मुनीनाम सो ह्रस्वान्तः शब्दः अस्ति चेत् तस्य नुडागमः भवति सो दैट्स वन सेकेंड नदी सम्यकः शब्दः अस्ति चेत् तस्य नुडागमः भवति वी सॉ दैट राइट नाउ एंड द थर्ड वन आबन्तः शब्दः अस्ति दीर्घ आकारान्त स्त्रीलिंग शब्दः अस्ति आप प्रत्ययान्त इत्युक्ते टाप् डाप् चाप् प्रत्ययान्त शब्दः अस्ति तस्य अपि तस्माद् विहितस्य प्रत्ययस्य अपि नुडागमः भवति सो फॉर एग्जांपल माला दिस इज नॉट ह्रस्वान्त दिस इज नॉट नद्यन्त और नदी सम्यक बट स्टिल व्हेन यू हैव माला प्लस आम अयम आबन्तः शब्दः अतः अत्र माला इत्यस्मात् विहितस्य आम प्रत्ययस्य नुट् आगमे कृते मालानाम इति सिद्ध्यति सो थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ वर्ड्स ह्रस्व नदी सम्यक and abant. Now sometimes there is an overlap. No, not overlap at all, because for the mati word, if you take the mati word mati plus am इत्यत्र मति शब्दस्य नदी संज्ञा एव नास्ति मति इति ह्रस्वान्त शब्दस्य नदी संज्ञा केवलं ङित् प्रत्यये परे एव वर्तते आम प्रत्यये परे मति शब्दस्य नदी संज्ञा नास्ति अतः मति प्लस आम इत्यत्र मति शब्दस्य ह्रस्वान्तत्वात् तत्र नुडागमे कृते मतीनाम इति सिद्ध्यति परंतु नदी इति शब्दः अस्ति तत्र ह्रस्वः नास्ति तत्र नित्यं नदी संज्ञा वर्तते अतः नदी प्लस आम इत्यत्र तु नदी संज्ञायाः सामर्थ्यात् नुडागमे कृते नदीनाम इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति So the first of the four important nadi karyas, hrasva nadyapo nut, shashti bahuvachanasya am pratyasya nut agamaha bhavati. The sutra clubs multiple things and we are going to learn this sutram in details because if we will need it for the hrasva case, we will need it for the nadi case and we will need it for the abanta case like mala and so on. But the focus on this slide is for the nadi samnya. Second sutram अंबार्थ नद्योर्हस्वः संबुद्धि प्रत्यये परे इत्युक्ते संबोधन एकवचनस्य प्रत्यये परे नदी सम्यक शब्दस्य ह्रस्वादेशः भवति सो गौरी प्लस सु इत्यत्र संबुद्धि सम्यके सु प्रत्यये परे गौरी इति शब्दस्य अन्ते विद्यमानस्य दीर्घ इकारस्य ह्रस्वादेशः भवति and then s is removed by eng ह्रस्वात् संबुद्धे we are going to learn that sutram later on but tatra gauri iti rupam siddhyati so most of your nadi table is now going to come directly is going to get resolved in front of you you have gauri naam or nadi naam you have hey gauri or hey nadi hey lakshmi and so on. So all these nadi samyaka words, not mati and so on, because mati is not nadi samyaka in presence of the supratyaya. But for gauri word, supratyaya pare gauri ityasya ikarasya hraswadesha bhavati evameva he vadhu ityatrapi hraswadesha bhavati. There is another component to this sutram called as ambartha. अस्य शब्दस्य कः अर्थः अम्बा इत्युक्ते मदर इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे विद्यमानाः केचन विशिष्टाः शब्दाः not all ambarthaka shabdaha but only specific words three words have been enumerated in the commentaries amba means mother akka means also mother and allah this is not allah as in god but allah is also mother so amba akka and allah all these are sanskrit words in the meaning of the word mother एतेषां शब्दानां सुप्रत्यये परे इत्युक्ते सम्बुद्धि सम्यके प्रत्यये परे अपि ह्रस्वादेशः भवति. That is the reason you say he amba and not he ambe. So for mala it will be he male, for shala he shale, परंतु अम्बा इत्यस्य कृते हे अम्ब इति भवति, हे अक्क इति भवति, हे अल्ल इति भवति. सो फॉर दीज थ्री वर्ड्स अंबार्थक शब्दाः एते सर्वे एतेषां विषये संबुद्धि प्रत्यये परे अंगस्य ह्रस्वः भवति. सो नदी सम्यकस्य अंगस्य तथा च अंबार्थकस्य अंगस्य ह्रस्वः भवति इति अस्य द्वितीयस्य सूत्रस्य अर्थः. द थर्ड सूत्र सेज नदी सम्यकात् अंगात् विहितस्य ङित् प्रत्ययस्य आट् इति आगमः भवति. So for a Nadi Samyaka word, let's say Gauri, if you take a Nita Pratyaya, say Nye, तत्र किं भवति इत्संज्ञायाः लोपात् अनन्तरं गौरी प्लस ए इत्यत्र ए इति प्रत्ययस्य आट् इति आगमः भवति. अगेन दिस प्लस साइन इज नॉट नीडेड. आट् इति आगमः भवति. टकारस्य इत्संज्ञा लोपे कृते आ इति अवशिष्यते. आ प्लस ए इत्यत्र आटश्च इति वृद्धि एकादेशे कृते गौरी प्लस आ प्लस ए बिकम्स ऐ. गौरी प्लस ऐ गौर्यै इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति. इन द सेम वे वधू बिकम्स वध्वै इति रूपं चतुर्थी एकवचनस्य रूपं सिद्ध्यति. For mati, the case is interesting because for mati, when you have a nye pratyaya, mati ityasya vikalpena nadi samnya bhavati. ङिति ह्रस्वश्च विकल्पेन नदी संज्ञायां जातायां नदी संज्ञा पक्षे आण् नद्याः इति आट् आगमे कृते आ प्लस ए ऐ इति आदेशे कृते मति प्लस ऐ मत्यै इति चतुर्थी एकवचनस्य रूपं सिद्ध्यति. सो मति वर्ड व्हेन इट इज टेकन लाइक नदी, because we accept the nadi samnya, the forms will be exactly like the word nadi, nadyai, matyai. Similarly, nadyaha, matyaha, panchami and shashti, same forms will be generated. You can work those out. So that's the third sutram. Let's quickly recollect. Hrasva nadyapo nuta. So shashti bahuvachanasya am pratyasya nut agamaha. अंबार्थ नद्योर ह्रस्वः संबुद्धि प्रत्यय परे अंगस्य ह्रस्वादेशः. आण् नद्याः ङित् प्रत्ययस्य आट् आगमः. एंड फोर्थ ङेरां नद्यां नीभ्यः नदी सम्यकात् अंगात् विहितस्य सप्तमी एकवचनस्य ङि प्रत्ययस्य आम आदेशः भवति. सो द सप्तमी एकवचन ङि प्रत्यय is converted to am. This is an adesha, not agama. So ङि इति प्रत्ययस्य आम आदेशः भवति. So Gauri plus Ni, this Ni is converted to Am, Gauri plus Am, and now because this is a Nit Pratyaya, Adesh happens, the Adesha carries the It Samya with it. So that's called Sthanivat Bhava. Adesh will take the It Samya along with it. So Am is still considered Nit Pratyaya, and therefore we apply An Nadyaha. What is that sutram? Nadi samyakat angat vihitasya ङित् pratyasya आट आगमः भवति. So even though am adesha is done, you can still do the आट agama. So Gauri plus आट आम, आ plus आ आटश्च इति वृद्धि एकादेशे गौरी plus आम गौर्याम यणादेशे कृते गौर्याम. In the same way, mati plus ni nadi samnya pakshe matyam iti rupam siddhyati. So, if you study Vyakarana using Siddhanta Kaumudi, these four sutras are taught in four different places. Sometimes I think some of these are taught in the Ajanta Pullinga Prakaranam, not in the Strilinga Prakaranam. So, it's all a mess. Here you have a holistic, complete understanding of the four sutras of Nadi Samnya. Remember these, the Nadi Samnya is used in four fundamental places. First, Am Pratyasya Nut Agamaha. Second, Sambuddhi Ekvachanasya Pratyay Pare Angasya Hraswadeshaha. Third, Nyit प्रत्ययस्य, so four ngit pratyas, nge, ngasi, ngas and ni, sarvesham ngit pratyayanam at agamaha. And fourth, one of those four pratyayas, ni iti pratyayasya am adeshaha api bhavati. These are the four nadi samnya specific karyas. Ratnakarji.
Acharya, very sorry. Very fundamental question. Now, Raswan Adhyapono. Where is this Sashti Bahuvachanasya, that word or Am Pratyaya word? Similarly,
We
in
will see
Amba,
that. Okay, we will see that when the sutra is being studied, right? I'm just giving the meanings of the sutras right now. When the sutra is
so,
studied, right on the next slide, you will see it is coming as an anuvritti. So everything will be clear on that side. Okay.
so 1 minute, Acharya. So, in such case, probably Panini spoke about Am Pratyaya, then later only he would have written this. Like in the chronological order, first
Yeah,
he
yeah,
would
of
have
course. I mean, for example, he talks about Am Pratyay in 7152, and then he says Raswan Adhyapo Nutta in 7154. So that Am comes as an anuvritti.
okay, that's what.
So that's always there in any sutram in Ashtadhyayi. It is not necessary that the full context is present in the sutram. The context will always come by the anuvrittis.
Fine. Thank you.
Any questions on these four karyas? Because otherwise, next slides will be done in like 2 to 3 minutes each. Any questions on the four fundamental karyas? You should thoroughly remember the four basic karyas specific to Nadi Samnya. Let us recollect. The first of them is only applicable for Dirgha Ikaranta. The second is also only applicable for Dirgha Ikaranta. Why? Because it is not associated with Nit Pratyas, so Rasva Ikarantas do not have a Nadi Samnya in that case. For the third and the fourth, they are applicable in Rasva Ikaranta as well as Dirgha Ikaranta. For Rasva Ikaranta, it is optional. I mean, the Nadi Samnya is optional, but once the Samnya is there, the Karya always happens. For the Dirgha Ikaranta, the Nadi Samnya is compulsory. Karyamapi tadrishameva tadanantaram bhavati. Mugdha.
अत्र अम्बार्थनद्योर्ह्रस्वः इति सूत्रमस्ति तत्र अम्बा इति अर्थे यदि शब्दः अस्ति तदा एव एतत् सूत्रं भवति वा यदि कस्याश्चित् महिलायाः नाम अम्बा इति अस्ति चेत्
हाँ, अम्बा
किं भवेत्
इत्युक्ते
तत्र
माता इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे यः शब्दः तत्र त्रयः एव शब्दाः अम्बा अक्का अल्ला तत्रापि केवलं तस्मिन् अर्थे एव कस्याश्चित् स्त्रियः अम्बा इति नाम अस्ति चेत् तत्र तु हे अम्बे इत्येव भवति
तत्र यदि समासः अस्ति चेत् जगदम्बे जगदम्ब भवति अथवा जगदम्बे इति
जगदम्ब
भवति
भवति यतोहि अम्बा इति शब्दः तत्र माता इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे एव प्रयुक्तः अस्ति
अस्तु
Huh? So there is so you are asking about samasa. More fundamental question is the tadantatva. So in case of a Jagadamba, there is amba at the end. So there is a paribhasha. I am not teaching it, but it's a very simple paribhasha to remember. Padangadhikare tasya cha tadantasya cha. So any sutram in the angadhikara always has tadanta vidhi. There is a simple rule to remember. Padangadhikare. So any sutram that is in the padadhikara and any sutram that is in the angadhikara tasya cha tadantasya cha. It will always be there for tadanta vidhi. So all these are in 7.1, 7.3, 7.3, 7.3 all in angadhikara. Therefore atra sarvatra tadanta vidhi pravartate. So Jagadamba will still have, if it is not the name of a lady called Jagadamba but it is talking about the Devi, then it is being referred as Mata. So there will be Hey Jagadamba. Any further? Somebody else had raised their hand, but probably their doubt was answered already. Okay. Agre gacchamaha. So now just the sutras. Hrasvanadhyaponuta. Hrasvantat. Nadyantat. Abantach angat parasya. Amaha ityukte ama pratyasya nut agamaha syat. Anuvritti adhikara and so on you refer on your own. The sutrartha is Hrasvantat angat. Then abantat means tap, dap, chop. This is the reason why classes are ordered like that. This tap, dap, chop was taught right in one of the first two classes when we studied about the Pratipadikas, class number 42. So tap, dap, chop pratyantat angat तथा च नदी सम्यकात् अंगात् विहितस्य आम प्रत्ययस्य नुट् आगमः भवति. So am is the षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य प्रत्यय कस्य अन्य प्रत्ययस्य निर्देशः नास्ति. This is explained in the bhashya. So you have bala plus am. Atra bala plus nut am. Mala plus am. That's the abant. Mala plus nut am. Nadi plus am. Nadi plus nut am. Anina prakareण नुडागमः भवति. Nudagama has ukara for uchcharanartha. Takara is itsamyaka. Both go away. Bala plus nam. Mala plus nam. And nadi plus nam. Etadrishe nam iti pratyeye jate. The immediate next sutram that gets executed is nami. Nami is a sutram that is all the way at the beginning of Angadhikaraha. So Angasya 641, Halaha 642, Nami 643. So the third sutram in the Angadhikara, Nami iti sutrena etad नाम प्रत्यय परे अंगस्य दीर्घः भवति. So बाल प्लस नाम इति स्थिते लकारस्य लकारोत्तरस्य अकारस्य दीर्घे कृते बालानाम इति सिद्ध्यति. So that's the right next sutram that we want to study. नामी इति सूत्रम नामी परे इत्युक्ते षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य कृत नुडागम प्रत्यये परे. It's not a random नाम प्रत्यय. It is always the षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य आम प्रत्यय whose नुडागम has been done. So नामी परे अजन्तस्य अंगस्य दीर्घः भवति. You can take a look at अनुवृत्ति अधिकार and so on. नाम प्रत्यय परे अजन्तस्य अंगस्य दीर्घादेशः भवति. नाम इत्यनेन यस्य आम प्रत्ययस्य नुडागमः कृतः सः आम प्रत्ययः अत्र स्वीकर्तव्यः. So bala plus am, bala plus nutta plus am. So it is obvious that nami will execute only after the nudagama is done. So bala plus nutta plus am, bala plus na plus am, bala plus nam, दीर्घे कृते बालानाम. एवमेव मुनीनाम साधूनाम पितॄणाम दीर्घः भवति. Now remember that nutta agama is done in three cases. Raswanta, Nadyanta, which is already dirgha, because Nadi, Vadhu, and so on are already dirgha, and Abanta, they are also already dirgha. So Nadi samyaka shabdaha तथा च आबन्ताः शब्दाः एतत् अङ्गम मूलतः एव दीर्घम् अस्ति. तत् अतः तत्र पुनः नामी इति सूत्रेण किमपि परिवर्तनं न भवति. So Parjanyavad Lakshana Vritti is there. I have explained this particular paribhasha. What is Parjanyavad Lakshana Vritti? A sutram will apply whenever there is a scope for its application, irrespective of whether it makes any sense or it doesn't make any sense. So Parjanyavad Lakshana Vritti iti nyayena tatrapi anena sutrena dirghadesha avashyam vidhiyate. But that dirghadesha is not good doing any transformation. So many times people skip that. It is okay to skip, but it's better to write. So अनेन दीर्घादेशेन अंगे किमपि परिवर्तनं न भवति. अतः प्रक्रियासु अयं दीर्घादेशः न दर्शते चेदपि दोषाय नास्ति. But in your beginning steps of writing the prakriya in your abhyasa pustakam, make a habit of writing that so that you remember that nami is to be applied anytime there is a naam pratyaya and an ajanta anga. Now somebody is asking why Nami is told before the Nut Agama Sutra. Nami is told before the Nut Agama Sutras because there is an Anuvrutti of Dirgha, that is Panini's Mahakanjus. He is using that Anuvrutti of Dirgha from Dhralope Purvasa Dirghona. So this Anuvrutti of Dirgha is coming from 63111 and he wants to use that anuvrutti here. That's why he keeps nami all the way in the beginning of Angadhikara. So if you see the previous sutram, halaha tatrapi dirgha asti, nami tatrapi dirgha asti. Then there are a bunch of nishedhas. Then again nopadhayaha, there is a dirgha. Sarvanamasthane cha sambuddho, dirgha. So at the beginning of Angadhikara, all the dirgha actions are being collected by Panini. So nami is added over there. Any further questions on Rasvanadya, Ponutta or Nami? If not, let's go to Ambarthanadyo Rhasvaha. Simple sutram again. Ambarthanam Nadyantanam cha. Give me 1 second. 73107. Just want to clarify, confirm the number. And here. this is okay. Ambarthanam nadyantanancha hrasvah syat sambuddhau. So again, sutra has been explained. Now just look at the sutra, anuvritti, adhikara, and so on. Sambuddhau ambarthanadyoho angasya hrasvah sambuddhi ekvachanasya pratyaya pare अम्बार्थक शब्दानां तथा च नदी सम्यक शब्दानां अंगस्य ह्रस्वादेशः भवति अम्बार्थक इत्युक्ते अम्बा इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे प्रयुक्ताः शब्दाः. So somebody had asked, is the meaning important? So it is important. For example, if you have a person called Sarva, it is not considered a Sarvanama, and the forms of that person called Sarva will be Sarvaha, Sarvau, Sarvaha. But if it is a meaning called all, in that meaning it is used as a Sarvanama and the forms are Sarvaha, Sarvau, Sarve. In the same way, Amba iti kasyaश्चित् बालिकायाः नाम वर्तते चेत् हे अम्बे इत्येव वक्तव्यं. परन्तु अम्बा इत्युक्ते जननी माता इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे शब्दः प्रयुज्यते चेत् हे अम्ब इति वक्तव्यं. सो अम्बार्थक शब्दाः इत्युक्ते अम्बा इत्यनेन इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे प्रयुक्ताः शब्दाः. ओन्ली 3 words are listed in the commentaries. Even though sutra says ambarthaka, it's only for 3 words: amba, akka, and allah. So for all these 3 words, you get a hrasvadesha. So amba plus su, amba plus sa, akka plus su, akka plus sa, Allah plus su, Allah plus sa, and then sa will be removed by a sutram we will see at some other point in time. That's the reason in most of your exercises, I am not telling you to do the Prathama Ekvachanam and the Prathama Sambodhana Ekvachanam. That's because there is a special treatment on that su pratyaya which is being collected towards one of the classes in the end. So we will, at that point in time, we will discuss all those particular words for the Prathama Ekvachanam and Sambodhana Ekvachanam again. For now, other prakriyas can safely be written. So atra amba ityasya amba iti परिवर्तनं भवति इत्येव अस्माभिः इदानीम् अवगन्तव्यम्. अग्रे स इति प्रत्ययस्य लोपः भवति, सः विषयः भिन्नः अस्ति. Similarly for nadi, nadi plus su ह्रस्वादेशे कृते nadi plus sa, vadhu plus su ह्रस्वादेशे कृते vadhu plus sa, एतादृश अंगस्य ह्रस्वादेशे कृते ततः एङ् ह्रस्वात् सम्बुद्धे इत्यनेन सु प्रत्ययस्य लोपः भवति. We will see that where is that एङ् ह्रस्वात् सम्बुद्धे सूत्रम. It is in class number 47. We are going to learn it in class number 47 एङ् ह्रस्वात् सम्बुद्धे. The next sutram is Anadyaha. So Nadyantat Paresham Nitam ityukte Nit Pratyayasya At Agamaha Bhavati. The sutra says An Nadyaha, but it is basically At Anunasika Deshaha Jataha. That's why you are saying An Nadyaha. But the sutram is At Nadyaha. So atra At Nadyaha At Agamaha Bhavati. Nadi plus Nye becomes Nadi plus At plus A. Because there is art agama, you have artascha iti vruddhi ekadeshah, nadi plus ai, iko enachi, nadyai, same for vadhu plus ngasa. And finally, nyeram nadyam nibhyah, nadyantat, abantat. So again that ap is coming. Abantat, like tap, dap, chap. So nadyantat, abantat. And there is a special word called ni. We are not going to talk about it right now. It is just there in the sutram. There is a special word called ni. Etesham sarvesham yaha ni iti pratyayah tasya am adeshaha bhavati. So 3 types of words: nadyanta words, basically nadi samyaka words, then tap pratyant, ap, tap, chap, ap, dap, chap, tap, dap, chap. So abanta words and ni shabda. So for these 3 types of words, ni pratyasya am iti adeshaha bhavati. So ngeram nadyam nibhyah नद्यंताद आबंता नी शब्दांतात अंगात परस्य नी प्रत्ययस्य आम आदेशः भवति. नदी प्लस नी becomes nadi plus am, and then you have आण नद्याः इति आडागमः, आटश्च इको यणचि, will get नद्याम. माला प्लस नी आबंतात अपि नी प्रत्ययस्य आम आदेशः भवति. So माला plus am, further prakriya happens, we will see in one of the upcoming classes. Malayam. That's why you have that Malayam and Nadyam look similar because there is the same Am Adesha. And then Ni iti kaschana anyaha shabdaha, you don't need to worry about it. Tasya vishayapi idam sutram pravartate. One important caveat to remember is that this Ni pratyaya is converted to Am once this conversion happens, it looks like Shashti Bahuvachana Am. Because Shashti Bahuvachane api Am Pratyaya. Idanim Saptami Ekvachane Ni Pratyasya api Am Adesha. But both are different. The Rasvanadhyapo Nutta and Nami and so on are not applicable for this Am. So that's why I made it clear multiple times. ह्रस्वनद्यापो नुट् इति सूत्रम् अस्य आम् प्रत्ययस्य कृते नास्ति, केवलं षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य आम् प्रत्ययस्य कृते एव प्रयुज्यते. सो इन डिस्कसिंग ह्रस्वनद्यापो नुट आई वाज वेरी क्लियर अगेन एंड अगेन, only षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य आम प्रत्ययः, no other am pratyah, so that saptami ekvachanam, when ni is converted to am, you do not get this particular ह्रस्वनद्यापो नुट. सो ह्रस्वनद्यापो नुट इति केवलं षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य कृते एव प्रवर्तते. This completes the discussion of Nadi Samnya. Now we have next three sutras for the Ghi Samnya, out of which we are going to learn only one sutram. So if you see, there is a sutram called Shesho Ghyasakhi Patis Samasa Eva and Shashti Yuktas Chandasiva. Three sutras are for the Ghi Samnya. We are only going to learn one sutram, and just like Nadi, we are going to learn a few karyas on the Ghi Samnya, and then we are done. Probably 15 to 20 more minutes. Any questions on the Nadi Samnya or the Nadi Karyas? Okay, अग्रे गच्छामः. सुबन्तप्रक्रियायां विद्यमाना हाँ, रेश्मा जी.
More than one question about that Nadi plus Art plus Am. So even if it was like Nadi plus Am, still it would have been Nadyam only, right?
Correct. So why is Art Agama done? Parjanyavat Lakshana Pravrutti. Art Agama is, as I mentioned, you should go back in class number 43 and listen. When I taught Artascha Sutram, I said that the real purpose of Art Agama is the real purpose of the Artascha Sutram is specifically in the Tinganta Prakaranam. अतः अत्र आणनद्य इति आडागमे कृते अपि आटश्च इत्येव सूत्रं प्रयोक्तव्यं. Not that was your question, right? Or not that?
Yeah, that was the question. Like,
so you have to
even if
use it
Art
because
would
of
not
that.
have been there, still the form would have been Nadyam only. I mean,
Yes.
Nadi plus
Okay.
Am.
Correct. Right. So Nadi plus Am ityatra, even if Art would not have, then that is a different discussion here. See, if Art would not have been there, for Nadi plus Am, it would still be Nadyam. But Am is a Nit Pratyaya, and for Nit Pratyaya, Art Agama is given because it is required in cases like Ananadya, like Nadi plus Nye and so on. Because if you do not do an Art Agama, you won't get the form like Nadya, the Vruddhi will not happen. So purpose of Art Agama is for the three Nit Pratyayas, Nge, Ngasi and Gas. But because it is being told for Ni Pratyas, it will happen. That's what I said. Parjanyavad Sutra Pravrutti, Lakshana Pravrutti, ittenena atra Am ityasya sandarbhenapi bhavati.
Yes, got it.
Did I answer your question or something else you wanted to ask?
Yeah. You answered. Thank you.
Okay. Any further questions? Okay. So let's they take the next samnya, Ghi samnya. Now, Ghi samnya is complementary to Nadi. Complementary in the sense Nadi is for Dirgha Ikaranta Strilinga words and Hraswa Ikaranta Strilinga words only under certain cases. The Ghi Samnya is in those cases where Nadi Samnya is not there. So either Nadi Samnya or Ghi Samnya, never two together. So Subanta Prakriyayam Keshanchana Shabdanam Ghi iti Vishishta Samnya diyate. So when does the word get a Ghi Samnya? There are three sutras, Shesho, Gyasakhi, Patisamaseva, Shashti Yukta Chandasiva, but we will only learn one sutram, Shesho, Gyasakhi. Shesha word gives it away. Shesha means non-nadi. So Shesha, Avashishtam. So yad nadi samyakam nasti, tad yad avashishtam tasya vishaye idanim Ghi Samnya vakshate. So it doesn't simply mean that anything that is not nadi becomes ghee. Otherwise, Rama, Sita, Vana, Phala, everything will become ghee because that is not nadi. So that's not the broad meaning. The domain is restricted on the ikaranta and ukaranta words. So ह्रस्व इकारांताः शब्दाः तथा च ह्रस्व उकारांताः, नॉट इवन दीर्घ, ह्रस्व इकारांताः शब्दाः तथा च ह्रस्व उकारांताः शब्दाः एतेषां विषये एव अत्र चिन्तनं क्रियते. So if you take all ह्रस्व इकारांत words, whether they may be pullinga, strilinga, napumsakalinga, but all ह्रस्व इकारांत words and all ह्रस्व उकारंत words, pullinga is fine, sadhu, napumsakalinga is fine, madhu, strilinga is fine, dhenu, all ह्रस्व इकारंत and ह्रस्व उकारंत words, if that is your universal set, if that is your domain, then in that context you have to interpret sheshaha. So atra अस्मिन् समूहे विद्यमाना ये शब्दाः, so which शब्दास, ह्रस्व इकारांत word like muni, ह्रस्व इकारांत word like mati, and ह्रस्व इकारांत word like vari. So all ikarantas. ह्रस्व उकारांत word like sadhu, ह्रस्व उकारांत word like dhenu, and ह्रस्व उकारांत word like madhu. So all these words, yatra tesham nadi samnya na bhavati tatra ghi samnya bhavati. So ह्रस्व इकारांताः ह्रस्व उकारांताः नदी संज्ञा भिन्नाः शब्दाः घी संज्ञकाः भवन्ति. There is only one exception, asakhi. Sakhi means friend, mitram. This word, it is a ikaranta pullinga word. It does not get nadi samnya because nadi is anyway ikaranta strilinga only. But sakhi word does not get ghi samnya. Sakhi word is not in the list of 70 words that we are learning. So we'll just keep that aside. We'll not think about it. We will just say sarve ikarantaha hrasva ikarantaha hrasva ukarantaha shabdaha ye nadi samyam na svikurvanti te घी संज्ञां स्वीकुर्वन्ति. सखी इति एकः एव अपवादः अस्ति, तस्य घी संज्ञा न भवति. Now what does this mean that all non-nadi words are ghee when it comes to hrasva ikaranta and hrasva ukaranta? Parigananam kurmah. Let's list them down. So hrasva ikarantaha hrasva ukarantaha pullinga shabdaha. पुल्लिंग शब्दानां कदापि नदी संज्ञा न भवति. अतः सर्वे पुल्लिंग शब्दाः ह्रस्व इकारान्ताः ह्रस्व उकारान्ताः पुल्लिंग शब्दाः नित्यं घी संज्ञकाः. यू डोंट हैव टू लुक एट द प्रत्यय, दे आर ऑलवेज घी संज्ञक. मुनि, कपि, रवि, हरि, भानु, गुरु, तरु, all are ह्रस्व इकारान्त और उकारान्त पुल्लिंग शब्दास, दे आर ऑल घी संज्ञकास. सेम फॉर नपुंसकलिंग. ह्रस्व इकारांतः ह्रस्व उकारांतः नपुंसकलिंग शब्दः वारी, शुचि, मधु, गुरु, लघु एते अपि नित्यं घी संज्ञकाः. The interesting part is now for the ह्रस्व इकारanta and ह्रस्व उकारanta nadi संज्ञक words. तत्रापि ह्रस्व इकारांतः ह्रस्व उकारांतः, sorry, the next interesting part is for ह्रस्व इकारanta and ह्रस्व उकारanta स्त्रीलिंग words, not nadi संज्ञक, स्त्रीलिंग words. So ह्रस्व इकारांताः ह्रस्व उकारांताः स्त्रीलिंग शब्दाः ङित् प्रत्ययेषु परेषु नदी संज्ञायाः अभावे घी संज्ञकाः भवन्ति. So in presence of the ङित् प्रत्यय, they have an option to be called a nadi. विकल्पेन नदी संज्ञा भवति. तादृशः विकल्पः न स्वीक्रियते चेत् घी संज्ञा भवति. And for non-ङित् pratyayas like su, aujas, auchas and so on, they were never nadi samnyakas, so they will always be ghi samnyakas. So always remember this, nadi and ghi are two sides of a coin when it comes to ह्रस्व इकारanta or ह्रस्व उकारanta words. It is always either or. So if it is not nadi, it is ghi when it comes to ह्रस्व इकारanta and ह्रस्व उकारanta. So simple, so for pullinga and napumsakalinga it is simple. For strilinga, for non-ङित् pratyayas, nadi samnya was never there, which means ghi samnya will always be there. And for ङित् pratyayas, you have an option. Ekasmin vikalpe nadi samnya, anyasmin vikalpe ghi samnya. Now talk about bhashita pumska words, because we had that discussion about nitya strilinga and so on also. So ह्रस्व इकारांताः ह्रस्व उकारांताः भाषित पुंस्क शब्दाः ये सन्ति, गुरु, लघु and so on, ते पुल्लिंग प्रयोगे नपुंसकलिंग प्रयोगे नित्यं घी संज्ञकाः स्त्रीलिङ्गप्रयोगे नदीसंज्ञायाः अभावे घीसंज्ञकः. So nothing special going on over here. I just had a space on the slide, so I added another bullet. All that you have to remember is, if there is a nadi samnya, there is no ghi samnya. If there is a ghi samnya, there is no nadi samnya. In which cases, for rasva ikaranta and rasva ukaranta words. So the sutram is Sheshogya Sakhi Anadi Samnyau Rasvau Yau Idutau. Those Ikaranta and Ukaranta words which are Rasva and Anadi Samnyaka Tadantam Sakhi Varjam. Sakhi is the only exception, but it is out of syllabus. Tadantam Sakhi Varjam Ghisamnyam Syat. So Shesha means Anadi Samnyaka, Ghi Asakhi. नदी संज्ञा भिन्नम ह्रस्वैकारांतम ह्रस्वोकारांतम प्रातिपदिकम घिसम्यम भवति सखि शब्दम वर्जयित्वा इकारांतम उकारांतम पुल्लिंगम नपुंसकलिंग प्रातिपदिकम नित्यम घिसम्यम भवति स्त्रीलिंग प्रातिपदिकम तु ङित् प्रत्यये परे नदी संज्ञायाः अभाव पक्षे घिसम्यकम भवति अन्येषु प्रत्ययेषु परेषु नित्यम घिसम्यम भवति. Any questions on the ghi samnya as such? It is extremely important to have clear knowledge of what is ghee and what is nadi. The class is actually simple, the definitions are also simple, but revise it once after the class so that your understanding is more firm. Agre gacchamaha. So why is this ghee samnya being given? Just like for nadi samnya we had 4 karyas, for ghee samnyas we have very simple only 3 karyas. Nit pratyaye pare. घी सम्यकस्य अंगस्य गुणादेशः भवति. So muni plus ङे, this is a ङित् pratyaya. Muni is nadi ghee samyak angam. I am also having fever of 1.5 hours. Muni is a घी samyakam angam. Muni plus ङे ई इत्यस्य गुणादेशे कृते मुने प्लस ए इकार से गुणादेशे एकारः मुने प्लस ए अयादेशे कृते मुनये. Same for mataye and same for sadhave and dhenave. That's for the gherngiti. The next sutram, घी सम्यकात् विहितस्य सप्तमी एकवचनस्य ङी प्रत्ययस्य औ आदेशः भवति. So remember, in case of nadi also there was a special karya for nit pratyaya. In case of ghee also there is a special karya for nit pratyaya. Similarly, in case of nadi, ni pratyaya had a special karya. Ngeram nadyam nibhya. Here again, ni pratyaya has a special karya. What is the karya? The sutram is called. No, this is a wrong sutram. Just give me 1 minute. I just want to confirm it's achakhe, right? 73119, correct. So घी सम्यकात्, so it's correct. So घी सम्यकात् विहितस्य सप्तमी एकवचनस्य ङी प्रत्ययस्य औ इति आदेशः भवति. तथा च घी सम्यकस्य अंगस्य अकारादेशः भवति. So two karyas are done together. You have a घी सम्यक anga and there is a saptami ekvachana pratyaya. The anga becomes akaranta. So angasya akaradeshah bhavati and pratyayasya au adeshah bhavati. So ni becomes au. Muni plus ni. Ikara becomes akara. So muna and ni becomes au. Muna plus au. Vruddhekadeshe krute munau iti siddhyati. Similarly, matau. So mati plus ni becomes mata plus au matau. In the same way, sadhu plus ni, sadha plus au, sadhau. And similarly, dhenau. So in the Saptami Ekvachanam form, for the words like mati, you have two options. If you do the nadi samnya, ni pratyaya gets converted to am, giving matyam. If you do the ghee samnya, ni pratyaya gets converted to au and anga gets an akaradesha, giving rise to matau. So for mati, we have matau and matyam. For muni, it is always only ghee samnya, so munau. And for nadi, it is always only nadi samnya, so it is nadyam. So that's the achaghehe sutram. And the final sutram, Angona striyam. This sutram says strilinga bhinna ghi samyakat. So this particular sutram is only for pullinga and napumsakalinga. It is not for strilinga. स्त्रीलिंग भिन्न घी सम्यकात् विहितस्य टा प्रत्ययस्य तृतीया एकवचनस्य टा इति प्रत्ययस्य ना इति आदेशः भवति. So muni plus ta becomes a munina. The ta becomes na. You can remove the it samnya, muni plus a, and then a becomes a na. Vari plus ta, varina becomes varina. That's the णत्वम that will happen later on. But the point is the ta pratyay becomes na. So angaha, angaha ityukte tritiya ekvachanasya pratyay. I'll talk about it in a minute. But angaha na अस्त्रियाम. स्त्रीलिंग भिन्न घी सम्यकात् विहितस्य टा प्रत्ययस्य ना आदेशः भवति. And strilinga bhinna is told explicitly. So strilinge kevalam yanadeshe krute matya ityeva bhavati. So these are the three karyas specific to the ghi samya. Gherangiti causing the guna, acha ghehe causing the akaradesha on the anga and aukara on the pratyaya, and angona striyam causing the na adesha on the pratyaya. So you have gherangiti घी सम्यकस्य ङिति सुपि सुप ङिति सुप्रत्यय परे गुणः भवति. सो घी सम्यकस्य अंगस्य ङि प्रत्यय परे गुणादेशः भवति. इकारस्य गुणः एकारः, उकारस्य गुणः ओकारः. सो मुनि प्लस ङे, मुनि प्लस ए, गुणादेशे कृते मुने प्लस ए, एचो यवायावः इति मुनये. साधु प्लस ङस, सो इट इज ङित प्रत्यय, एनी ङित प्रत्यय इज फाइन. साधु प्लस ङस, साधु प्लस अस, साधो प्लस अस, ngasingsoscha. Remember, we have studied this sutram. Sadhos, sadhoho. So, if you don't remember ngasingsoscha, go back class number 43. And for mati word, the same prakriya happens in case of ghi samnya. So, mati plus ngi, ghi samnya pakshe, mate plus a, echo yavayavaha, mataye. If there is no ghi samnya, then you have adagama, adanadyaha, and matyai will be created. The next sutram is accha ghehe. So idudbhyam uttarasya hrasva ikarat hrasva ukaratbhyam uttarasya nyehe out syat. For whom? For ghi samyaka. So ghehe nyehe out syat antadeshascha akaraha. Is written in a cryptic manner. The sutrartha will make it more clear. घी सम्यकात् विहितस्य नी प्रत्ययस्य औत् आदेशः भवति. तकार इज फॉर मुख सुखार्थ उच्चारणार्थ. औ आदेशः भवति. घी सम्यकस्य अंगस्य च अकारादेशः भवति. सो औत् एंड अत् उभयत्र तकारः मुख सुखार्थः टू सिंप्लिफाई द उच्चारणम. सो अत्र उदाहरणम मुनि प्लस नी, नी इत्यस्य औ आदेशः त कैन बी इग्नोर्ड. इट इज नॉट it samyaka, it is just mukha sukhartha. I mean, you can say it is it samyak also, but there is purpose, the vyakhyana say it is simply mukha sukhartha. So takarasya tatra prayogat purvam eva lopaha bhavati. Muna plus au. So ikarasya sthane akaraha, muna plus au, vruddhi ekadeshe krute munau. In the same way sadhau, and for mati also in the same way matau. So that's achakhe. And finally ango nastriyam. The sutram says na इत्युक्ते ना आदेशः भवति. अस्त्रियां स्त्री भिन्न शब्दस्य संदर्भेण एव, स्त्रीलिंग भिन्न शब्दस्य संदर्भेण एव भवति. So even if the ghi samnya is possible in all three lingas, this sutram is only for pullingam and napumsakalingam. And it says ang pratyaya is converted to na. Now there is no anga pratyaya in the list of 21. Su, aujas, am, auchas, tabhyam, bisging, bhyabhyas, and so on. So what is this anga pratyaya? The commentaries say that anga is the name of the ta pratyaya which was used in the vyakaranas before Panini. So prachinaihi acharyaihi टा इत्युक्ते तृतीया एकवचनस्य यः प्रत्ययः तस्य प्रत्ययस्य स्वस्य व्याकरणे आंग इति रूपेण निर्देशः कृतः आसीत्. So whatever vyakaranas Panini learned, because he must have learned some vyakaranas before he created one, right? So whatever vyakaranas he learned, in those vyakaranas, the well-known term for, or the pratyaya for 3.1 was ang pratyaya. So Panini Maharshi just uses the same pratyaya over here. Now, why does it use? Why does he use the same pratyaya? Why not actually use his own pratyaya ta, which he has created? There is no answer. His choice is the only thing that we can say. So, आंग इति प्रत्ययः अत्र ता इति प्रत्ययस्य एव समानार्थकरूपेण प्रयुज्यते। किमर्थम् आंग प्रत्ययः प्रयुक्तः अस्ति इत्यस्य उत्तरं नास्ति, परन्तु अत्र आंग इति तृतीया एकवचनस्य ता इति प्रत्ययस्य एव प्राचीनैः आचार्यैः प्रयुक्ता संज्ञा। केषुचित् सूत्रेषु पाणिनिना अस्याः संज्ञायाः अपि प्रयोगः कृतः अस्ति। Always he uses ang, that is also not the case. So he will also use ta, tagasika minatsyaha ityatra tena ta iti pratyaya prayukta asti. So sometimes he will refer to it as ta, sometimes he will refer to it as ang. For example, angona striyam, aungaha apaha, not this, only angona striyam, there is another sutram, I think, ang, we can easily find it, ang, oh wow. Angi chapaha. This is the sutram. Angi chapaha. Again, atra ang is the tritiya ekvachanasya ta pratyay. So one or two cases he will use ang, one or two cases he will use ta, his choice. So ang iti atra tritiya ekvachanasya pratyayah asya pratyayasya na iti adeshah bhavati kada केवलम अस्त्रियाम स्त्रीलिंग भिन्नस्य संदर्भेण। सो अस्त्रियामिति विषय सप्तमी स्त्रीलिंग भिन्न विषयेषु इत्युक्ते पुल्लिंगे नपुंसकलिंगस्य संदर्भेण पुल्लिंगात् नपुंसकलिंगात् वा घी सम्यकात् अंगात् परस्य ता प्रत्ययस्य ना आदेशः भवति। एंड दिस इज ऑलवेज घी सम्यक, सो नॉट एनी रैंडम पुल्लिंग एंड नपुंसकलिंग, only Raswa Ikaranta and Raswa Ukaranta Pullinga Napumsakalinga words other than Sakhi. That is why for Tritiya Ekvachanam you don't get Sakhina but you get Sakhya. There is no Na Adesha, so Sakhi plus A becomes Sakhya. Here it is for words like Muni and Sadhu and so on. There is a Ghi Samnya. Ataha Ta ityasya Na iti adeshe krute Munina, Sadhuna. Even in the Napumsakalinga, you have Varina, you have Madhuna. So atra sarvatra Na iti adeshe krute Rupam Siddhyati. अस्त्रियाम इति किम मत्या, मती प्लस आ, अत्र रूप आ ना इति आदेशः न भवति। सो द सूत्र स्पेसिफिकली सेज आंगः न अस्त्रियाम। सो मति प्लस आ केवलम यणादेशः भवति, धेनु प्लस आ केवलम यणादेशः भवति। Now somebody is asking, just like the way Sakhi becomes a Sakhya, Pati also becomes Patya. So what is happening in case of Pati? That is a good question, and that is something again we are not studying, but I'll show what happens because you asked. So you have Shesho Ghya Sakhi. It's actually very interesting. I mean, I would have added another slide, but it's a little bit out of syllabus. So you have Shesho Ghya Sakhi, and then the next sutram says पति ही समासे एव। सो पति शब्द becomes घी सम्यक only when it is used in the samasa, like bhupati, ganapati, gajapati, prithvipati and so on. So only in that samasa pati shabda is घी सम्यक. So bhupati इत्यस्य तृतीया एकवचनम भूपतिना इति भवति. But if you just take the normal pati word, it is not घी सम्यक. This is a niyama sutram. पूर्व सूत्रेण पति शब्दस्य घी संज्ञा प्राप्ता अस्ति, परंतु पूर्वेण उक्ता संज्ञा अत्र नियम्यते पति इति शब्दः. सो लेट्स गो टू दैट सूत्रम. पति इति शब्दः केवलं समापति इति शब्दस्य समासे एव घी संज्ञा भवति. गणपति, भूपति. सो ह्रस्वैकारान्त पुल्लिंगः यः पति शब्दः. नाउ यू शुड बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड ऑल दिस. ह्रस्वैकारान्त पुल्लिंगः यः पति शब्दः तस्य शेषोऽघ्यसखि इति सूत्रेण घि संज्ञायां प्राप्तायां प्रकृत सूत्रेण सा नियम्यते पति इति शब्दस्य समासे एव घी संज्ञा भवति. केवलं पति इति संज्ञस्य घी शब्दस्य घी संज्ञा न भवति. सो गणपति, श्रीपति, क्षेत्रपति एंड सो ऑन देयर इज अ घी संज्ञा, बट द नॉर्मल पति शब्द इज नॉट घी संज्ञक. एनी फर्दर क्वेश्चंस? If not, then samapayamaha. That's all for today. So see, we spent 30 minutes of today's class in talking about the in the previous week's discussion about the Roho Supi and Archis word, and still we finished in 1.5 hours. So today's class was actually smaller. If there was no discussion of the previous week, we would have finished in 1 hour. but we can never finish our course class in 1 hour, right? So अभ्यासपुस्तकस्य पूर्णम् अधो दत्तानां शब्दानां जस् प्रत्ययं विहाय सम्बुद्धिं च विहाय अन्याः प्रक्रियाः लेखनीयाः. So इकारान्त पुल्लिङ्गः मुनि शब्दः, उकारान्त पुल्लिङ्गः साधु शब्दः, so both of them will get घी संज्ञा. इकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्गः मति शब्दः, sometimes घी, sometimes नदी, and इकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्गः मति and उकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्गः धेनु शब्दः. If I recollect right, and I might be missing something, if I recollect right, other than just pratyaya and other than sambuddhi, you should be able to write everything all sutras have been taught so far, not in today's class, but in all the previous classes. If there is something that you are stuck, send a message on the group and I'll teach that sutram, or I'll explain how to work that out in the next week's or tomorrow's class. And then another exercise, अधोदत्तानां शब्दानां सुप्रत्ययं विहाय संबुद्धिं च विहाय अन्याः प्रक्रियाः लेखनीयाः. सो ईकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्गः नदी शब्दः, ईकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्गः लक्ष्मी शब्दः, and उकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्गः वधू शब्दः. So nadi and lakshmi differ only for the supratyaya. Nadi becomes prathama ekvachanam is nadi and lakshmi prathama ekvachanam is lakshmihi. Other than that, there is no difference. Even in the Sambodhan, there is no difference. In both cases, there is Ambarthanadyor Haswaha. So, he Nadi, he Lakshmi, iti bhavati. But that Supratyaya, how is that removed? That is not taught. Therefore, I have mentioned Sambuddhim Vihaya, Supratyayam Vihaya, Anyaha Sarvaha Prakriyaha Lekhaniyaha. So, again, for Nadi, Lakshmi and Vadhu, I assume all sutras have been taught. Please pay additional attention when you do prathama and dvitiya prakriyas, because there is special prathamayoho purva savarnaha, prathama and dvitiya vibhaktis that might come in the picture under certain circumstances. Go back and refer to class 43 if you do not remember this particular sutram. So that is all for today. This is the list of sutras. Ratnakar Mahoday, you have a question? I didn't unmute you. Namaste.
Namaste, Acharya. Acharya, if I look at this, picking up a particular word and doing all the 21 vibhaktis is one aspect. And if I take all the 21 pratyas like Shu, Auja, Samot, Shes, and what are all the changes that are going to take place in the Shabdas, like what happens in Akaranta Pillinga, Akaranta Strilinga, what are all the changes that take place, like Sasaju Sorohu, all these things. Can we write that way? Of course, that itself might become a huge exercise.
So that's a good question, and you can definitely write it that way. In fact, there are 3 different ways of learning the Subanta Prakaranam. First is you take a word like Rama and derive all the forms. Then you take another word, say Muni, derive all the forms. Then you take another word, say Nadi, derive all the forms. This is one way of learning Subanta Prakaranam. That is exactly what Siddhanta Kaumudi, Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, and so on teach. So that is a typical traditional way. The second way that you mentioned, take one pratyaya and study it fully.
Correct.
So what happens for supratyaya? What happens? So Rama plus Su, Muni plus Su, Sadhu plus Su, Nadi plus Su. Then take Au pratyaya, Rama plus Au, Muni plus Au, Sadhu plus Au, and so on. That is another way of studying it. I don't know who anybody has taught it like that. Earlier, my plan was to teach it in that way, but that has too many complications. So I'm neither using that method nor using Siddhanta Kaumudi method. I'm using my own separate method where I am grouping the karyas based on their location in the prakriya. So Anga Karya versus Varna Karya versus Tripadi Karya, and that way we are studying. If you ask me, I'm going to be biased, but if you ask me, this is the best way of learning the Subanta Prakaranam. The other 2 ways have their own problems. Anyway, but that's my personal opinion.
And another 2 questions, Acharya. One is a request. At the end of slide deck, normally Adya Aditani Sutrani, that's what you normally put. Correct. Could you make one distinct class number also at that end or some place, so that
this is our
if I take a
class
print,
number today, right?
that's
Oh,
okay.
it's there here. So for example, here if you see class 47, all these sutras, class 46, all these sutras is there on the slide deck.
That's okay. At the end of the slide that what you have shown right now, in the yeah, here, somewhere over here. Adhyadhitan Sutra, class number so and so. If that way you write, if you can make it, though, if
Or you
it's
want to
not
take a
too
screenshot or
much.
something? You want to take
Correct,
a
Acharya.
screenshot?
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
okay, I see. Okay. But again, I'm going to say the same thing which I've told on the group. This is one thing that I really want you all to write by hand, please. This is the reason
Definitely.
why I'm not giving up, editable copy of this, or I'm not saying that please copy paste and all that. You can make slide PDFs and so on, but this is something that please write with hand. It will help you in the longer run. So,
Huh.
okay, please, I
And
mean, this is the one request that sutra names and their one line meanings, please write with your hand, okay?
sure. Only thing is, I am asking for the class number on this particular
Okay,
slide.
okay,
That's
okay,
it.
okay, okay.
And third one, Acharya, there are many sutras, like 4,000 sutras. How to remember the sutra sankhya? Should we remember that sutra?
Personally, I also get very much confused in the Sutra Sankhya. So usually it comes by practice. But other than that,
Oh,
I don't think. I mean, when Sutra Sankhya comes, matters when you want to do the Badhya Badhaka Bhava and so on. Competition between the sutras and then find out which is Purva, which is Para, or which Prakarana it belongs to and so on. But I would say at this particular stage in your studies, Sutra Sankhya, remembering Sutra Sankhya is the least important thing. You have many other things to remember before you actually take on the Sutra
that's
Sankhya.
yeah, I understand. Nice.
Okay?
Thanks so much, Acharya.
No, absolutely.
For all basic questions, don't mind me.
That's okay. No worries. Absolutely. Yeah. Reshma ji.
Uh, More than one general question regarding writing the prakriya. If at any step, if you need any saudhnya like ki saudhnya or nadi saudhnya or whatever saudhnya, if there is any work for that afterwards, then only we should write it, or by default, since it is going to get by some or the other rule, we should write it. What should be
So
the process
correct,
in general?
correct. So that's a good question, and obviously there is no hard-coded and hard and fast answer. The way I have always been following is you should write the sutra for that samnya only if it is useful, not otherwise. Okay. So for example, pada samnya, write it only if there is a pada karya somewhere in the prakriya. Bha samnya, write it only if there is a bha karya somewhere in the prakriya. So for example, in the Muni Panchami Ekvachanam, there is going to be no bha karya, so you don't need to write a bha samnya over there. But there will be ghi karya, so we'll need to write the ghi samnya. Now for Muni, ghi samnya is across for all 21 forms. But for Muni plus bhisa or Muni plus bhyam, there is no point in writing ghi samnya, so you don't need to write ghi samnya. So write the samnya only when there is a karya for that samnya. And second point, usually there is no need to write that samnya as a separate step in the prakriya. So you do not need to say muni plus su and then muni ityasya ghi samnya and so on. Any place, for example, any place where you want to apply ghering iti, right in that step you say shesho ghyasakhi iti muni shabdasya ghi samnyayam satyam ghering iti blah blah blah. So gunaha asya bhavati and so on. Clear? Did I answer that question?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Any further questions? रेशमा जी, you have? हाँ. If no questions, समापयामः. श्वः नियमितरूपेण कक्षा भविष्यति. Tomorrow's class, I don't know what I'm teaching. Sarvanamasthanakarini, one of the most important and convoluted class. The most difficult sutras in the Subanta Prakaranam are गीतचां सर्वनामस्थाने धातोः नपुंसकस्य झलचः शान्तमहन्तसंयोगस्य and अत्वसन्तस्य च धातोः. Four most complicated sutras in the Subanta Prakaranam. All we will learn in tomorrow's class. So come for tomorrow's class. And another request that I have is please make sure to complete the Abhyasa Pustakam on time. Is thanks to those students who are actually doing the Abhyasa Pustakam as the course proceeds, because it is because of them I realized that Roho Supi Sutram was not taught. Otherwise, 10 classes would have been over, I would have never paid attention, and Roho Supi would have completely missed out. So, in order to avoid that, in order to find out my mistakes, please make sure to do the Abhyasa Pustakam on a regular basis. What I am planning is that after the 10 full classes are over, before going to module number 6, I would like to discuss the entire Abhyasa Pustakam, all 70 words in the class. So you are going to volunteer. I'll prepare a spreadsheet. you write your name. So for one word, there will be one or two students. You write your name, and then just like in the Sandhi Abhyasa Vargas, you spoke the entire Prakriya. Here also you will speak the entire Prakriya. The only simple thing will be the Prakriya will be in front of you because you would have already completed the entire Abhyasa Pustakam. So just keep it in front of you and read it in the class. But then for the posterity also, the recording will be very useful. Like this is all theory classes, but if we have a separate set of Abhyasa Pustakam classes, all that will also be useful. We can have the recording of the Prakriya of all 70 words in your voice. So we will have that after the module is over, and then we will go to the next module. Any questions? If not, we are already out of time. So samapayamaha. श्वः नियमितरूपेण कक्षा भविष्यति. अष्टाध्यायी जगन्माता यस्य अरे देयर इज सम ओके अष्टाध्यायी जगन्माता यस्य चित्तात् समुत्थिता वेदानामुपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनिये नमः शब्द ब्रह्म समाराध्य कृतवान्यो विलक्षणं सर्वाश्चर्यमिदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनिये नमः येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनिये नमः. धन्यवादः.